Sorry for the delay. As always, when I end up doing something, try to broadcast something, I have to restart or change something. So give me a moment. Okay. Like I say, it's a pleasure to be before you, as always. I had a topic. I was going to call it "Go Stand in the Timeout Corner," and I wasn't comfortable with that, so I came up with another title, "Let's Play." And I thought about how I'm always looking at messages from the things that I see. And this is another interesting message that you will be able to relate to because you may have or be a part of sports, watch various sports on TV, listen to it on the radio. So I came up with an interesting format for the message to show you that we as individuals within a relationship, we can be playing various types of sports. It's my hope that you will see yourself as a sports player, or maybe you're sitting on the sidelines and refuse to participate. What does this have to do with relationships? All of our relationships can be like a sport. I can use myself as a good example. Things that I've said, things that I have done, things that I have overlooked, just foolish things. I had to learn a lot from my experiences, and I shared my experience in hope that it caused other males to consider their behavior. It caused females to consider their behavior. It's not about condemnation or being judgmental. It's just specifically speaking the truth. I learned over the years of my life on this earth existing that those who want the truth will ask questions, will seek out the truth, and if they hear something that lines up with what they need, they will accept the truth, admit that they're wrong, admit that they have a problem, and seek the proper help for their problem. And at times, individuals resist, they change because what they have done or what they have said and how has been behaving has been comfortable. It works out for them. But in essence, it may work out for a while, but it will fall apart. I had to learn from my own experience that I thought I knew. I was responding based on what I thought, what I feel, what I want, what I believe, what's in it for me, how does it benefit me? And I know being a black male, or even a black person, whatever you want to call yourself, or when you talk to your friends, if you're not thinking or sounding or agreeing with them, regardless if it's a lie, you are frowned upon as not being one of us. When we speak the truth, it is not easily accepted. Excuse me. I learned from my experience, partly from my sniffing, for some reason I got a stuffy nose. I learned from my experience. I had to learn from my experience, not because I was already there. No, I had to learn from my experience. And in doing so, I thought about my behaviors and actions that went along with the bad thoughts, the bad decisions. You can be, one would say, too serious or not serious enough, or you just not expressing yourself in a way. And so when I came up with this particular title, Men and Women Don't Know Their Place Within a Relationship, that is true. If you really look into the mirror of self, you may agree and see some areas where you need to improve on. It's not a put down on women, it's not a put down on males. It's just simply telling the truth. If you see where you lack a certain qualification or certain whatever word you want to use for your lack of, it's good to seek out answers. But we as a race of people refuse to seek out. Some refuse to seek out, and when you express yourself in a manner, it become inappropriate to others. They don't want to hear anything that you have to say, or they ignore what you have to say, or just totally is unacceptable for what you say. I learned the hard way through the bumps and roads in life, my left and right turn, me looking back, me looking right. I had to learn to evaluate self, examine self, do a self-assessment of my behavior, and realize that I was living and experiencing messiness in my relationships that I had been in the past. And had I had known or heard the things I have shared so far, me posting on doing live Facebook, I probably would have been in a better position in my relationship. It's not about who is control or who has power or who has money. That's nothing. That is learning our proper position within a relationship. I cannot give birth to a baby. Only a woman can. I can read a book, but I can't tell her what to expect. So we must come to the conclusion that we all have faults. Do we admit that we have the faults? Some do and some don't. Some sit on, I got a college degree, I got money, I got property, things have worked out for me very well. Why do I need to change? And they may don't want to change, then that's their choice. Everyone has an opinion. It's not to agree to disagree, because if both persons believe to disagree, agree to disagree, what happens? Both people walk off in the sunset thinking that they have won and no solution to their problems. They think they have won. They didn't have to change. We need to begin to change. If you want to better your relationship, if you're married, if you're thinking about getting married and you want to improve on your marriage, then think about how do you want your marriage to be? How do you want to improve your marriage? How do you want your relationship to be? And I always would say, let me see, in my thing, I always say, when I give this particular series, I say I will always use these as the foundational notes, foundational roots for any relationship. If your relationship does not fall in line with these guidelines or these, you want to call them, they're not rules. If your relationship, being married or getting married, is not found on these foundation, then there's a problem. Everything else, one may say, Anthony, well, that's your opinion. Well, that is my opinion, but I learned from myself, it is my opinion, but it's the truth. When I was married, I'm divorced, I'm single, I'm not dating, I'm not involved, no significant other, no whomever. I had to learn, and I recognize that I did not have this in my relationship. Any of my relationship, I did not have this in my relationship. I kind of know it, but I didn't. I was about what I think, what I want, what I feel, what I believe. So this comes from the Bible. It has nothing to do with teaching you. The Bible is just the basic foundation on what a relationship should be. But and it goes along with my theme of this message. Men and women don't know their place within a relationship. And it goes like this. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with the truth. It always protects. Always truth. Always hope. Always preserve. Love never fails. And the one I want to point out that we do, and I have done, love keeps no records of wrong. When we, myself speaking for me, when we are involved in a relationship, do we keep records of wrongs? Hold on, excuse me. Do we keep records of wrong and saying, oh, I remember you did this, I remember you did that. Oh, I see why she left you, I see why he left you. Do we bring up people's past? When do we say, oh, I forgive you, however, some future time you throw it back up in their face? So true love does never boast, does not keep a record of wrongs. It does not throw up everything that you have done. And the bad, when you meet someone, you share how you feel about the relationship, you express how you feel about the relationship, you express you share some past experiences with men or women, depending on your sex, and you get involved with that individual, you get married, or you start dating, and you get engaged, and you get married. Then when you have a problem that may not be closely associated with your own, in the heat of anger, you may bring up the past and say, oh, I see why so-and-so left you. I see why you are doing this. And we throw it back up in the person's face. We're not expressing true love. We should be saying, sweetheart, I see an area where we need to improve on our relationship. I see it's not me judging you. It's not me putting you down. I want to encourage you. I want to support you. I want to be a part of your life. I want our relationship to blossom, to flourish. I want our relationship to be well. Yes, we're going to have ups and downs. We're going to have problems. But I want you to know that I'm with you. I'm with you. I got your back. I want to support you in everything. Let us discuss things before we react. Let us not do things based on emotions. And so when we start doing those things when it comes to relationship, then I wish I had a teacher. I wish I had known. I wish I had been around where I can hear what I'm sharing with you today. And maybe I will, still been married or been happily married for the time that I have been married. I can say, well, I love this person in the past. How many times have you have said, I love this person, and we going through a revolving door of relationships, revolving door of, I love this person, I love this person, I love this person, and we have countless of relationships, countless of many marriages and divorces and separation, and blame in the game, and blame. I have talked to women, I have talked to male of various sex, race, and they share their viewpoint. Some women share that they were the problem. And some men's hard-headed, sometimes don't want to admit that they have a problem. So it's about the individual. If we want help, we must first of all, admit that we have a problem. So this particular series, episode I'm going to bring to you, is coming from a position of sports, showing you that our behavior and what we do and what we say can be like playing a sport. You may not physically play the sport, have no interest in the sport, can care less of the sport, don't have knowledge, can care less. But we need to understand that we can learn from anything. Everything that we look at does have a message. We just not listening, or we listen to another way. So take, for example, I pick football, for example. You have tackle. You have different players playing different positions. But I'm going to point out, you tackle. In some relationship, there are physical abuse and verbal abuse can be a form of tackling. Your spouse, your partner, you tackle him verbally, physically, causing pain, injury, sending them to the hospital. So that you're incorrectly, you're trying to incorrectly solving the problem. You can be penalized in the sports or football, and then say, the referee throw the flag and say, penalty, offside, whatever. Sometime in life, in our relationship, we can be offside in the wrong position within that relationship. So the referee throw the flag. He saw that there need to be a rectification. So he throw the flag and say, come back to where you started from and let us start over. In relationship, we must recognize that are we having a football moment in our relationship where we are penalizing our spouse when it ought not to be? Are we penalizing them correctly? Are we saying, baby, Come back to the point where we started. Come back to where this all began and let us resolve this argument. Let us not keep tackling each other verbally, physically. Quit sending me to the hospital. Let us quit calling the police, because we can. Let us start over. Let us start over to where this fault lies. If the fault is me, male, if the fault is you, female, admit that it's your fault. Everyone has played a part in relationship. Everyone plays a part in the form of, in the communication. No one is innocent. You must look and say, okay, what did I do to contribute to this problem in my relationship? I did. So I need to change. So think about when it comes to football. Are you having football moments in your relationship? And then we go to volleyball. They hit the ball over the net, and some people spike it, and you can't stop it, and you win a point. So in our relationships, we have volleyball moments of throwing words back and forth to each other, trying to get that one word, that one statement in to cause them to go, oh, wow, no, you didn't kind of moment. Volleyballing relationships is not good. Each person is shouting words of anger, words of hate, words of I don't love you, I don't care about you, you make me sick, I'm sorry I married you, you're no good, or you don't work, or whatever word you use can be a form of a volleyball moment in a relationship. So check yourself. Are you having a volleyball moment as I'm speaking? Then we have the basketball moment. The basketball person will be dribbling down the court, the player, and he calls, and it has dribbling, bouncing the ball. Are you dribbling in your communication constantly over and over and over and over? Are you nagging your spouse over and over and over like a dribbling moment? Dribbling, nagging your spouse? You won't let go of something that you thought that resolved. You say, I forgive you. And they accept your forgiveness, but the person who accepts your forgiveness is constantly dribbling you over and over and over and over. Then it's a term of double dribble. It's when the person use two hands to bounce the ball, and that's a form of double dribble. When we engage in two types of communication, I love you, I forgive you, and then come back and say, you make me sick, I hate you, or whatever word we're using, we are dribbling in our communication. That you just stop. We're sending a mixed messages. I love you, but I'm a double dribble with something else out of my mouth. We need to stop doing it. Then you get to the one where it say swimming. It has been said that black people can't swim. Some of them can't swim. I remember when I was living in Florida, this black female military, she explained to me she had went to the pool, and she wondered why that all the ones that she saw was not getting in the pool. And she's from a different country. And she was told that in our country that some blacks do not know how to swim unless they go into a profession that requires them to swim. So they usually just stand in the water at the beach or stand on the lower side in the swimming pool. And she felt that was strange. It was new to her because she come from a different country. So we need to begin to learn how to swim in relationships. We must not jump into the deep end of a relationship and only to fall. See my notes. It's the same within a relationship. If we had not been taught, we need to learn how to be taught. It is foolish to jump into the deep end of the swimming pool. Similarly, some of us jump into relationships for the wrong reason, only to be drowned within the bad, verbal, physical, emotional, mental pain, suffering of behavioral waters. We must learn how to swim, learn how to behave in our swimming pool in a relationship. Don't jump into a relationship. Don't jump into the deep end of a relationship because of you're lonely. You don't want to be alone. You want to die with someone in your life, as someone told me. Or you want to have a sexual relationship. You want to be cared for whatever reason you use. We should not jump in to swimming pool relationship if we don't know how to properly stroke, turn our head, breathe, take time out, rest, If we don't know the proper technique of swimming, we must take that and say, I must learn the proper technique of swimming in my relationship to be in the right position. So if I need to rescue my spouse, who I saw have jumped into the pool in the deep end of a behavior, I can rescue them with the life preserver, the life pole, with what I typify as the truth to cause them to come back and say, baby, you're going too far. Quit doing that. You're going too far now. You shouldn't be doing this. You're going too far in the deep end. You're expressing yourself in a manner that's not, just unknown to me. So are you swimming in a deep end when you ought not to? And then you have wrestling. It's a combative sport, grappling, different moves, arm bar, drop kicks, spin the person around. If you saw wrestling, you know what it implies. Is your relationship based on a you and I wrestling series? You had the WWE and whatever name, or I forgot the other name, WWE, and I see it, but I can't think it. Have you created your own wrestling form where you and I are wrestling? You and your spouse are wrestling with words of anger and hatred, belittling, put downs, not encouraging, not supporting? Are you using the arm bar of lack of? Are you choking your husband or spouse with words of anger and hatred? Are you trying to pin them down in a position where they ought not to be, and they're trying to get up? And you want them to, you using lies as a 1, 2, 3 to hold them in that position? It must not. It must stop. We as individuals, we know that some say wrestling is fake, it's staged. The outcome is determined. There's a bad and good person. The referee. All of that is true. Is your relationship based on fake? You pretend that you love, you pretend that everything's okay? Or is it staged at a given moment because you want something from your spouse? You want something, you want to receive something, so you stage behavior as everything's okay, everything is pleasant. You stage a sexual moment in your relationship because you want to persuade them to do what you want them to do. Or at times you play goodbye, you are bad or you're good, depending on the outcome and how to respond to you. Are you mad? Are you angry? Are you doing things? Are you trying to pin that person down to commit to something they don't want? Tell me right now. Tell me right now. I need to know. They don't need to think about it. You're always doing it. You always want to take time, to think about things. Are you having a wrestling moment in your relationships? And then you have hockey. It's a team sport with each other trying to maneuver a ball or a puck into the opponent goal using a hockey stick. Words can be like a hockey stick. You try to beat your person up with the words of anger, hatred, revenge. You're no good. Your mother, I should have listened to your mother. I should listen to your father. You're an alcoholic. Words can be a form of a hockey stick, constantly beating our opponent, which is our loved one, our husband, our spouse, constantly. And then we know, if you have watch any hockey, there's always fighting in the game. You never have you ever seen a hockey match where there's no pushing up against the wall, push the person up against the wall and they start fighting? Some relationships where there are people right now, as I'm speaking, are having a hockey moment in their life. The husband is beating the wife, which is wrong, or the wife is beating the husband, which is true. Some women do physically, emotionally, and mentally beat up their spouse. It's an unkept secret behind the closet door that they don't want to express themselves, that, hey, my loved one is beating me up. There are many hockey relationships out there, verbally, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So are you experiencing a hockey moment in your relationship, which is all out of position? Then you have the golf moment in a relationship. Golf, consider a club and golf balls. Players use various clubs to hit the ball until down the course with a limited amount of holes. On a course, they have various. The course is never smooth. They have various terrains that they must 18 holes, various terrain. You get the ball, they hit over the tree, they have water, they have certain things. So you got to hit the ball up at a precise moment, and then the ball roll, and then whatever. So when in a relationship, are you having a golf moment? Are you precisely using the right verbal communication skill in your terrain of argumentative behavior? Are you using the proper golf club moment? Because depending on what terrain you go to, depending on what terrain 1 to 18 require certain golf clubs, size and types. So are you using the correct truth in certain behavior terrain that you're experiencing? Are you going through the motions to precisely use the right golf club of truth, the right truth for that moment, to try to hit it at a precise way where you get a hole in one or it falls in the hole and you say, wow, I got it. I see where I was wrong. Or you having a golf club moment in your relationships. And then you have jump rope. Jumping rope, you have to learn how to jump rope. Believe it or not, jump rope is very good when it comes to exercise. Balance, coordination, precision, holding the rope the right way, patience, learning to breathe. You're going to get tired. You're going to struggle. You're going to step on the rope. You're not going to do it precisely. It requires good work, effort. Are you experiencing that in your relationship? Are you really jumping? Are you experiencing a jumping rope moment in your relationship? You are responsible for how you jump your rope of behaviors in the relationship. No one can jump for you. You must do your own jumping. And when you do the right, proper jumping with the jumping of the truth, I call it the jumping with the truth rope. And when you respond to the jumping of the rope, self-taught, self-evaluation, self-assessment, then you could come and say, hey, sweetie, look what I did. Look what I learned. Look what I learned about myself. And you express that, I was wrong what I have done. I was wrong for the things I have said, But most of us, it's not easily said. It's easy to say, but some people struggle to admit that they're wrong, to admit that they have a problem, to admit that they need to wake up from being with the eyes open. They need to wake up and accept the truth about self. We as an individual must realize that there are various forms of relationships. And then you have checkers. Checkers, black and red. It's jumping over the man, jumping over the man, jumping over the man, and then you win, and you get a queen, then you get a double, and you can move around the board. In relationships, are you jumping over your partner when you ought not to? Are you doing just jumping over them regardless of how they feel? Are you saying things that's inappropriate? Are you responding in ways that offend them, make them mad, get them angry? Are you doing the right thing when it comes to the relationship? Are you behaving like a checker player? Are you having a checker moment relationship? Then you have chess. Chess, every piece on the board has a specific purpose. You got to think, you got to outsmart the other person, you got to make precise moves to try to win the game by capturing the king. What did that tell us in a relationship? Everything that you and I do in a relationship require a specific move, a proper move. A queen cannot behave like a king, or pawn, or bishop, or knight. Every piece on the chess piece has a precise purpose. If you are angry, look at it as a chess move. A chess move, what do? Your opponent, who recognize that you move into the realm of anger, will think, okay, he or she is angry at me. We're playing chess. I must not outsmart them. I must use, sweetheart, darling, why are you behaving this way? Well, because, I see what you did. Then you move another piece. You move another piece. in the chessboard of relationship, in the chessboard of life. Everything that we do has a purpose. We just need to wake up and begin to question, what are we doing? What are we saying? In any sports, there are rules and regulations and times and periods. And if there's no rules in any sports, it'll be chaos, confusion, uncertainty. Who won? Who didn't win? You penalized me or you fouled me. There are rules that govern any sports. There are rules when it comes to communication. We need to know our proper place within a relationship. We need to know how we respond. What are we doing? How should we respond at any given moment? How we respond to our husband, our wife, our kids, our children. How to respond to our employer. How to respond to a stranger. How to respond to our extended family member. There are rules. You may not call them rules, but we must learn how to know. We must recognize that sometimes there's a timeout. If you are having a discussion with someone and you see you're not getting anywhere, just simply say, okay, I'll see we're not making any progress here. Let us just take a moment and just take a deep breath and let's get back to it another time. A brief suspension of anything, a self-evaluation, self-examination, you can say an intermission of a sort. An intermission will allow you to think about your action and what you've done and what you said. Take a break. I think I need to take a walk to the park. I'm going to drive around. I'm going to go into another room. I'm just going to relax until I feel that you and I can have a discussion. We need to quit interrupting only to get our word in. I've been guilty of that many times. We need to quit interrupting and just let the person express how they feel. And then when they say what they said, address what they're saying. Don't address what you think, what you feel. And they say, wait a minute, I just say something. It's like saying I got a dozen of eggs and I'm telling you why I have a dozen eggs. And then you come back and say, oh, I have a dozen of oranges. You listen, you did not listen. So try to not interrupt, but when only to interrupt because they may say something hurtful. Begin to think, time out, relax, or a brief suspension, and just listen to what the person is saying. And then when they finish, you address what they said. And then after you address what they said, then you tell them how you feel and what you, even if they say something to you and you address what they said to you and they are correct, just say, oh, I see, I am doing that. Thank you for pointing it out for me. Thank you for showing me. I did not realize that I'm hurting you in this area. I did not realize that it was a problem. Thank you for expressing that to me. And that's not a put down. It's not judging. It's not making you weak, making you wimp. It's just expressing a proper way in a relationship. Then you have a stop the clock moment where the referee says, stop the clock, where the coach on the sideline may stop the clock. They call the players in and they get in the huddle and say, this is your weakness. This is your strength. Take a point, pick this person out, take this person out. Focus on your opponent. In a relationship of our relationship, we need to do that in our relationship. We need to have a stop the clock moment. Hey, wait a minute. Let us start from the beginning. Show me, I have a viewpoint, I have an opinion. Hear what I have to say. You hear what I have to say. And we come to some form of agreement. Have a stop out moment, stop the clock moment in our communication. It should not be driven. Hey, you don't have to be angry. Don't raise your voice. Don't do this. Don't say that. Please calm down. Listen to me. And if the person is saying something to you and you see that you are doing that, I apologize. I didn't know I hurt your feelings. I apologize for how I raised my voice. Simply just admitting your faults. And then you have a substitution. The coach recognizes that this player is being overwhelmed with whatever. We in a relationship can be overwhelmed with lies, our friends, our families, or whatever thing that's causing us problem. Sometimes we have to substitute the lie for the truth. I am weak in this area. I do have a problem in this area. I see where I'm the problem. But baby, you also not helping me. You're not supporting me. You're not, it's not pointing the finger. It's not beating a person over the head. It's just simply saying, these are my concerns. How can we put our relationship in a proper order? Because it's messy right now. It's messy right now. And finally, we have the referee. In every game, there's a referee. There's a rule. There's a regulation. The referee typifies the truth. The referee is not, the truth is not governed by male, female, black, or white. The truth never changes based on what I think, what I feel, what I want, how it benefits me, what's in it for me. The truth is truth. That is the referee. That is the referee in a relationship. The truth. The truth that we must admit that we have a problem. Admit that we have issues. Admit that we're doing things wrong. Admit that we need help. Admit that we are very prideful. Admit that, the reason why I'm divorced is because of what I have done. Yes, they did that to me. I responded this way or that way, but I'm still a contributing factor to my divorce. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. My husband left me, my wife left me, my kids don't have nothing to do with me. We are responsible in some form or another. We must begin to recognize that. And when we recognize that, we can come to the person if we have the opportunity and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me for what I have done. What can I do to make things better between you and I? If you live out of the household, you're not together anymore, just have a proper communication for the children, not for yourself. Just be an example for the children. You still can get along even though you're not together. We must begin to turn our messy relationships of communication into a proper position to know that men and women must be in a proper relationship within the relationship. So if you like what you heard, this sports analogy of how we behave in our relationship, share with other people. Let them hear what you have heard. You can go to my YouTube channel, He Still Speaks Now. Listen and look at other various videos. I am an author working on many books in the works. The ones I have so far, I have 10 books on. You can go to Amazon.com. You can go to createspace.com. You can use the in the instant message if you want to purchase one of my books. I will mail it to you free of charge at this moment. $10 for one, or you want 3 for $25, and I will send it to you. Post this free of charge. The title, Hidden Tears of a Black Male, Sexual Dating Produced on Consequences, Thug Desire, Stay on the Plantation. You need to escape from the plantation. You always have snakes in your head. From now they're called Black Lives Matter. He Still Speaks Now. Listen. The Seed of Zeus, Thug Desire. If you like any of these titles, I will post them again in another date to show you how you can reach me and contact me. But if you like what you heard, just simply share what you heard to your friends. Because I'm quite sure when I put this together, and I said when I put this together, I was thinking, wow, I never looked at sports as it pertains to how you behave in a relationship. Because some of you out there are having, and I'll close with this, are having football moments, volleyball moments, basketball moments, double dribbling moments, swimming moments, wrestling, hockey, chess, jump rope, golf, and checker moments, relationships. And they all have rules. Are you following the rules? Or are you making up your own rules? When you make up your own rules, you only making up your rule to make you better, make you look good, to show that you have no problem, because you want to win. You're not about change. You're not about to change. You just simply want to win and say, it's not my fault. It's the other person's fault. So once again, it's my hope that what I share with you will cause a change, will cause you to think, will cause you to say, wow, I see what I have been doing. I need to improve. And have that moment, baby, can we talk? I heard something. I want you to listen to it. It's not a put down. I think it can better our relationship. Let us not get along to get along. for the sake of the children. Let us improve our relationship. Let us improve our relationship when it comes. As I said before, I wish I had all this knowledge and information in my marriages, in my divorces. I wish I heard it from other people. I wish someone's out there sharing what I'm sharing. So it's my hope that what I have shared, someone will come across and say, thank you, that you have given me another avenue, another road. So when I get to the fork of life, I can decide what path I want to go down. So thank you. Begin. He Still Speaks Now Listen is my website. He Still Speaks Now Listen.org. YouTube channel, The Hidden Tears of a Black Male. And you can email me at email todanow@writeme.com. Again, todanow@writeme.com. If you have any questions, have any comment, or any subject matter that you want me to discuss, I will not use your name. If you have something that you want to share with other people that they can benefit from, use my email. Thank you. I hope I cause a change within you. Take care. God willing. Be back.